What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius banner review, and those beautiful ladies of Final Fantasy X-2 are here. We have two great damage dealers in Yuna and Paine, and then we have a must pull for a lot of players out there in Rikku. I'm going to go over some breakers if you have them. You can kind of overlook Rikku and save your Lapis, but for a lot of you guys out there, you're going to want to pull for it, just like me. Let's get into it. All right, guys, before we get started with this video, I wanted to bring up a few things. So remember how we talked about on the iOS store that FFBE War of the Visions was coming out maybe on the 25th. That's what the iOS store said. Well, officially on the website, we do have a 25th release date. It says PST, but no timer yet. I'm hoping there will be a timer so we can kind of like know exactly when we're going to be getting our hands on this. So I'm very excited. Yes, I'm going to be covering it. If you've been enjoying my 7 Deadly Sins, you've been enjoying my FFBE over the years, War of the Visions is another gacha game. I'm going to try to juggle 3 of them. I'm going to need your help, though, to give those videos likes. You know, let's get to that algorithm going for us with the comments, giving it likes. I'm going to have a whole reroll guide, tier list guides, how to play guides. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a big Twitch stream for the reroll, opening of the game. We're going to have a lot of fun and hang out. And another thing I want to mention is because of all of your great support, we are up to 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. So go in the link in the description below, and I'm giving away a $100 of your choice, either a Google or iOS gift card, so you guys can maybe get ahead of the game in War of the Vision, spend it on 7 Deadly Sins, or maybe go crazy in FFBE. But without further ado, let's get to the reviews. First up for us to review on this ladies banner is Paine, and Paine is going to be a true double hand user that is going to require a lot of outside assistance. Her kit is not very good in my opinion, but if you do give her that outside assistance, she can start rivaling some of the top damage dealers in global. But she is, like I said, she is not her kit and her TMR, STMR, they just don't vibe well. That's why she's not going to be the best in the world. She really needs a lot of help to even do, what other units do on their own. So we'll talk about that as we go down. So we have the TMR Black Choker, Defense 15, Spirit 15, Blind, Paralyzed, Confused, Disease Nullification, and then Feel the Pain, increase attack 30% and give you an auto heal. This TMR just seems like it's all over the place. We don't have Petrification Nullification. I like saying that here, Petrify Null, but we do have Paralyzed and Confused. It's not a ribbon effect. It gives you a little bit of attack, but then it's like accessory gives you defense and spirit, which you do not want on a true double hand user or even a true dual wield user, right, for an attacker. So overall, it feels like a really clunky and bad TMR, and I wouldn't even be looking at it at all for any user really out there. Looking at her STMR, really good for true dual wield users, right? It's not a true double hand weapon. I don't know what they were thinking with this. Sword of Pain, attack 176, Mysterious Swordswoman, increase fire, ice, lightning, and water resist by 40%. So a giant attack on a great sword. Throw that on a true dual wield user and throw like maybe an elemental weapon on the other hand. You're going to have a nice big fat attack stat with great elemental coverage for resistances. But then for Paine, she's got to pick one of these two, the TMR or the STMR to put on. And I don't think it's going to be the STMR because it's not a true double hand. It doesn't have the attack modifier. It's not a two-handed weapon. And then her TMR, you're sacrificing so much attack on an accessory. I just don't. We're gonna have to look at her TMR ability and decide if it's worth it to be sacrificing for one of these two. So overall, the STMR is pretty nice for true dual wield users, but not for her. Moving on down, her kit is actually super simple. She's going to be able to do fire, ice, lightning, water, or light damage, because she's going to activate a light damage with this Excalibur right here if she uses one of these abilities, but none of them are good enough to make her push top tier damage. You're going to have to use her non-elemental attack, Sword Dance, for that. And if you do that, she has no Imperil in her kit, and she has no Imbue in her kit, okay? So you have to outside Imperil and Imbue to have her do her full amount of, damage. She has to have supports, and that's not, and it's not like you do that and then she starts busting out the damage calculators and their calculators explode. No, she does like good to high tier damage, but requires a crap ton of help. So I want to move on down and look at the two abilities you can unlock here. Well, we have triple cast, but we also have light physical damage, 7.6 times the one enemy. We have ways of making this a higher multiplier, excuse me. And then we also have Demi Sword, which increases Excalibur's multiplier as well. In the end, jumping through all these hoops to activate all these multipliers to use these light damage or this, these other different elements are not good enough. What you want to do is when you get into battle, you want to cast Throttle, and then you just want to start going to town with Sword Dance, right? You just want to start casting this Sword Dance. 15 times multiplier to all enemies with a 15 times cap finish, as that's what it means. And we're just going to be slamming down the damage, and that's all you have to worry about. She does have a physical damage taken 30% mitigation. She has mitigate physical damage 30%, excuse me, and that's good in her kit. But you have to outside imperil, and you have to outside imbue to make her work really well. Looking at her LB, even you'd think, oh man, Claic, look at her LB, it's on that. No, it is a 40 times multiplier LB, which is great. But then it increases physical damage against humans 150%, which is awesome. But that's it, man. So you're just gonna be like throttle, activate triple cast, get attack, defense, spirit 250% for 6 turns, and then go to town with sword dance. I don't know what else she has to do. She's a very simple unit. I'm not going to spend too much time on her. If you like Paine and you want to make her work, that's how you work out with it. But other than that, it's definitely a skip for Paine. Next up on the banner, we have my girl Yuna, and my goodness, does she look good in this game. She is a great sprite, popping colors, animations are great. They did a wonderful job when it came to the sprites of both Yuna and Rikku. I think Paine looks good in her animation, but when she's just standing there, she has weirdo eyes, and it freaks me out. She's going to be a true dual-wield gunner that has a lot of support in an attacker who can also bring the damage. I really actually like Yuna's kit. She has an LB that everyone is going to love to be casting if they end up getting her. We're going to talk about that a little bit. She does need a little help, just like Paine. I don't know why they were doing that. She can imbue, but she can't imperil. Like, why did they take that away? I don't know with these units. But let's get into the review. TMR Rookie Sphere Hunter, increase attack 40%, increase light and dark resist 50%. Again, guys, gonna be great if you need that light and dark resist, big old fat chunk of it, 50%, and then you get a little bit of attack sprinkle on top, so you don't have to sacrifice too much when you put this on your attack damage dealers. It's way better than Paine's, but not the best thing in the world. Very niche at best. And then we have the STMR, call Madam Adele. She's hammering the phone trying to order this thing. She loves it. Tiny B, 178 gun, and it has the ability, the gunner, increase attack 50%, recovery MP 7% per turn. So true dual wield users who can use guns are going to love this item. It's very, very strong, this weapon here, but I don't think you need to be running out there and spinning your STMRs on it, Moogles on it, excuse me, because, you know, you really want to save those for limited time units. Now, I'm not going to hate on you if you do get this for you Madam Adele users, because it is fancy, it is nice, but remember, this is a 3-5-star base banner. Getting this STMR, you may get lucky and get it and you're really going to like it, but it may have to come down the line when maybe you get an off banner unit along the way or something like that. So it's going to be a little tough for you guys to get it, but if you do, it's very nice. Moving on down, like I talked about, Yuna has the ability to support while doing damage, but it lacks the ability to imperil. So you're going to have an outside imperil to make her work. She's actually quite, you know how she's quite simple, but at the same time a little bit intricate, so you need to understand how exactly her kit works. She has the ability to imbue either fire, ice, lightning, or water, and then each one of these has like a nice little added benefit depending on which one you do. So with fire, you just have a little bit more fire damage that gets added on top. See, it says fire physical damage 6 times per turn for 3 turns to all enemies. If you do the ice one, you get a nice little mitigation, so general mitigation 30%. If you do the lightning one, Yuna's going to negate 2 physical attacks to herself, and then the water one, we're going to recover MP 100 to caster. So, you know, I don't think those support items or support side pieces on these imbues matter enough to be switching out your imbues, but it's nice to have them a little bit there. And then I want to go down and talk about her LB before I talk about her rotation. Her LB is a fat modifier here for this chaining ability, so you're not going to be lacking too much damage if you start going into her LB and using it. Now, if you're trying to eke out the most damage if you can, get her as high up as you can, you have that outside imperil, you have to skip the LB if you want to get the most damage. But I don't think you should be doing that. Look at what the rest of this LB says. Auto revive 80% HP for 5 turns to all allies. 5 turns. Like, that is a long time for that auto revive to be on your team. And did I mention this is a damage dealer that could put out damage like star player Tidus, like some of the top tier damage dealers? No, she's not hitting the Chinese twins. No, she's not hitting the numbers Madam Adele can, but she can still hit really, really high numbers, get the job done, bringing this nice support. And we're going to look, she can get her LB up pretty quickly through using her other chaining abilities. So this right here is fantastic. So you're not sacrificing too much damage, and you're getting an auto revive from your damage dealer. Sounds good to me. So what we're going to do on turn 1 is we're going to have W cast, excuse me. So double cast, yeah. So you're going to be able to cast whichever imbue that you want, and you're going to go with gun shooting. Gun shooting is going to be your attack buff. You're going to enable cheap shot, which is going to be a chain finisher move that we're going to cast later, and triple shot. So it's going to be your run of the mill, power myself up and get unlock triple cast for me. Next up, your main chaining ability is going to be burst shot. So you're going to cast that twice. Physical damage 8 times with critical hits to one enemy, and increase LB gauge 4 to 6 to caster. So you're always always going to be putting up that LB gauge, and you get to cast that twice in a turn most times. So it's going to be great for you. You're going to get that LB off quite a bit, and then you're going to chain cap finish with the ability we talked about, we just unlocked, Cheap Shot. Physical damage 40 times to one enemy. So if you just get rid of all this, just say 40 times, and I'm pretty sure it can chain cap. So I want you guys to let me know in the comments below, maybe if you played JP and had Yuna, or if you have Yuna in the game right now, and you maybe just got her today. Congratulations. Let me know if that can chain cap finish. I'm pretty sure it should be able to, but that's still the rotation you do, but it should be able to chain cap finish. At least that's how I think she's supposed to work. And that's it, guys. The only other thing we're going to throw in there is Scatter Burst. Use it on turn 3 and then use it every 3 turns after that. Big physical damage here, not as big as the ability we just looked at by 2 times multiplier, but it's still pretty strong in itself, and it's a chaining ability. Absolute Mirror of Equity is what she's going with, and she increases her modifiers to all of her damage dealing abilities we're casting besides Cheap Shot, so it's just going to allow you to do more damage and kind of ramp up. And that's going to be what you're going to be doing. Just make sure you're Imbuse on, you're outside imperiling, and you always have gun shooting or Scatter Burst on cooldown when it is needed, when it comes up. So looking down through our passives, we get a lot of, different attacks, MPs. We do get LB fill rate up, which is great. So you're going to be able to get that LB even more, so you can get that auto revive up. We do get Trained Trigger Finger. What that's going to do is going to auto cast at the start of battle. It's 15% mitigation to both magic and physical, making her a bit more tanky. She has resist to blind and sleep, but I don't see confuse, petrify, or paralyze yet. She is going to be a true dual wield unit, and hopefully they never change this. All true dual wield units are getting that 6 times the dual wielding. She has dual wielding in her kit. Her TMR or STMR equipped. We have attack and HP 30%. We get 50% when single wielding any weapon, but we also get 50% when dual wielding. I do believe you want to dual wield, in my opinion. Autocast Bringer of the Eternal Calm. Bringer of the Eternal Calm, negate 2 physical attacks for 9,999 turns the caster. We get a Undead Killer. We get LB damage, which I guess will help make that LB do a little bit more damage. And then at the very end, we get more 50% more dual wielding. See, so you get 100% true dual wield. You only get 50% true double hand in her hand. They just don't want to do that. And then we get some more modifiers up. So overall, I think Yuna's pretty damn good. She's not meta breaking. She's not going to break the bank. But if you really like Yuna, you can use her to beat almost any of these trials. She has that nice auto revive LB. If I end up snatching her up, I'm not going to be mad, and I definitely want to try her out. And last but not least, the super good, strong, big mama breaker Rikku is here. A must pull for a lot of people. We're going to talk about why that may not be for a couple of other units if you have them. But she's going to be an excellent unit, has excellent sprite, excellent animations. And did I say excellent? Anyway. Her TMR is going to fall, sadly, on its face, just like the other ones did, in my opinion. Defense 30, Spirit 30, Poison, Sleep, Silence, Confuse, Nullification, and then we have Fairy's Humble Protection. Give that Lightning Resist a 30% buff. These TMRs are so weird. It's not the worst in the world. I like the picture. I'm looking at the STMR. This is where a lot of people are going to start disagreeing with me. I've already gotten into fights with people. Increase HP and attack 30%. Increase attack 30% when equipped with a dagger. So that's 60% with a dagger, 30% HP. And this is the part people I think are really blowing out of the water. Increase LB gauge 6 per turn. They love that. They love seeing that number from 2 or 4 go all the way up to 6. And they think it's amazing. And I hope if you think it's amazing, don't let me change your mind. I'm just telling you, don't go out there STMR moogling this thing. Listen, on the units that want to, like the attacking units that would use the attack, a lot of them, King Rain, Esther, Titus, they all have abilities to just boost their LB immediately. You have no reason for LB per turn, so there's not going to go on them. A lot of people you do want LB per turn are going to be, support units or tanks, and those aren't going to get the advantage of that 60% attack. The 30% HP is fine. But this is a materia slot where we have a lot better materials out there for short STMRs. The 2 units I could see this thing being excellent on are going to be Orin or Rikku. And the reason being is they are damage dealing breakers who they really want their LB to be up at all times, so they could be, casting those nice big fat breaks. And then they also could do a little bit of damage because they are break chainers. So the Rikku, going to be great on her. Orin, also a great candidate. And then other than that, you're kind of nitpicking and kind of choosing where you want to lose out on a materia slot and gain with this 6 LB per turn. If you love it, I hope you get it, and I hope you get to use it to its fullest extent. But for me, it's kind of a not the best thing in the world. So moving on down, I want to go over each and everything that this girl could do for you on your team to try to either convince you to, yes, you need to pull for her, or if you have a couple of these other breakers, you may not need to pull for her. It's really up to you. So increase LB gauge 4 to 6 to all allies. She can W cast this. So the first thing I want to talk about is her ability to, on off turns where she doesn't need to be breaking or doing any of her other support abilities, she's just giving your team a minimum of 8 LB per turn. And that's just with casting it. She can do that over and over and over again to everyone on your squad, which is absolutely incredible. Next up, I want to move over to this. Negate 1 physical attack for 4 turns to all allies, and it is on a damage dealing ability. Absolute mirror of equity chaining. So remember how we were talking about how much Mirage is important? There's a lot of times when you want to be casting it. We just got a unit from the King Mog shop for free that can do it 2 times in a turn. So you negate 2 in a turn. Riku's got it on 1 in a turn, but along with having a unit that doesn't only just do that. That's like just a plus for Rikku. She has a ton of other stuff she does, which adds on to how powerful she can be. If you know there's a big physical AoE that can't, you're not going to be able to cover using magic cover or something like that, you can pop off this and totally evade it, and it's very, very strong. Next up, we're going to have her big breaking cooldown ability available in turn 1, 8 turn cooldown. Decrease attack, defense, magic, and spirit by 80% for 4 turns to all allies. 80% is an extremely high break, and remember, every time that break increases, I know you guys are thinking, well, that's only 5% or 10% more than mine. That is astronomically a large amount. These breaks, as they get higher up and higher up, it still is nice. It's very, very strong. They're going to be doing less damage. You're going to be doing more damage. It's very, very good, guys. But on top of that, that's not it. Just like her friend Yuna, you get more. You get auto revive 80% for 4 turns to all allies. So this is going to be similar to the Fid, where you're going to be able to go in and do a break and auto revive on everybody. It's going to be fantastic, going to be a great time for you, and this is a very strong ass ability, and you guys know that. Available in turn 1, 6 turn cooldown. Increase lightning resist 100% for 4 turns to all allies. She has the ability to imbue lightning element for 4 turns to all allies, and then also increase LB gauge 15 to all allies. So if you like being imbued by lightning element, this is going to be great. If you want to have nothing to do with lightning element, this move is going to be unusable. So it's really going to be hit or miss depending on what you need, but I do like that it's called Mock into charge. It's kind of cool. And then we have physical repair available turn 1, 6 turn cooldown. She can put up your HP and MP 50% for everybody. So she does have that. She can W cast any of these abilities, as you can see. She can weave them in and out. She has steal, I guess, which could be great for you guys if you want to use it. And then if you don't, if you don't have this up and you don't have her LB up somehow, and because this is an 8 turn cooldown, 4 turns, I think after you cast this, you're going to want to be using her LB. But you do have the option of W casting these 2 for 75% breaks with a little bit of damage. And she has the ability to put everybody's LB gauge fill rate up 200%. So it seems like I'm saying, guys, every ability she can cast, and if she is providing her damage, which isn't going to be anything crazy, guys, she's not going to be out there destroying people, but she can add a little bit of damage. She's giving you a little bit of support that you really like, a little bit of support that you need, which is great for a breaker. Moving on down, we want to talk about our LB, which is going to be physical damage 14 times with ignore defense, 50%. Decrease attack, defense, magic, and spirit by 80% for 4 turns to all enemies. So in my opinion, and it's 30 LB crystals, so it's not even the highest thing in the world. You're going to cast this bad boy right here, break him by 80%, and then when that runs out, you're going to cast this, and when this runs out, you're going to cast this, yada, 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 back and forth, and you're always going to have 80% breakups, and the boss is going to be real sad about it. They're not going to like it. Moving on through the different passives that we have here. Some MP recovery, some spirit HP, going down through dagger, passive here, Dagger Mastery. Increased lightning resist 40%. She does have true dual wield chaining modification up. So you're going to build her true dual wield. She has dual wield passive here that she gets. She has increased equipment attack 50% when dual wielding. And she does get this nice HP and MP right here from her TMR or STMR. So if you end up getting that STMR, throw it on Rikku, like I said. If you have to use the TMR, I think it's okay because this is a support breaker. You're not missing out too much like you would on somebody else with that poopy TMR. She has a chance to counter physical attacks and magical attacks with high summoners, form or guardian. Increases LB gauge 3 to caster, which is great. So if she gets tapped, she's going to be able to have her breaks up even faster. And then she gets some modifier increases and then some spirit up, which is great. We want her to be tanky. We want her to do a little bit of damage if you need her to. I'm really going to be looking at her as just a support unit, but that's just me. That's what I like to do with my breakers most of the time, unless they have some insane mechanic. And so brings us to the question. If you guys weren't impressed with this, what's wrong with you? This unit is absolutely insane, packing so much punch in a little tiny user right here. But do you need to pull? Is it a must pull for you? I think there are 2 units out there that if you have, you can skip Rikku for sure. Like, you can do it and you won't feel bad about it. although she is really great. That is going to be Kryla 100%. Kryla is absolutely insane. I know she was a limited time unit, but she can be built easily as provoke, evade. She does imperil. She does resist, elemental resist. She breaks almost in the same way that Rikku does, but even brings along a way to remove the enemy's buffs, remove their positive effects. I think Kryla may be even a better unit than Rikku in the end. It's just insane amount of support coming from Kryla. And then we also have Fid, of course. Fid's going to be one of those amazing breakers that have been standing the test of time for a long time now, with a bunch of the same things that Rikku can do, with water imbues, whereas Rikku's doing lightning imbues, and just all kinds of stuff. So I think those two breakers are on the same level, if not a little bit higher than Rikku, maybe, depending on what you need in a fight, which is what is cool about FFBE. You can have multiple units, and depending on the fight, you can take them in. But for anybody else, I'm telling you right now, Rikku is going to be a big upgrade for you, for anybody else using those breakers. That's my opinion on it. That's what I think is going on with Rikku. And so, yeah, that's it. So overall, we have high support units here on Rikku and Yuna, with a high damage dealer in Yuna and Rikku being a breaker. And I think Paine is like that. You will feel Paine if you pull Paine. There are going to be Paine fan boys and fangirls out there that are not going to like what I'm saying, but her unit design is duty. I do not like the way they built her up. It's bad. So you don't want to feel the pain with Paine, but you really want to get Rikku or Yuna. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you guys are pulling for either of these, or if you're going to stick with your breaker that you already have, or your damage dealer. Subscribe to my YouTube channel here. Follow me on my Twitch channel. Tonight, it's my birthday today. It's my birthday. I'm the birthday boy, and we're going to be going for Rikku, doing birthday pulls. I want to see you there on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Claic Yuzolt, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.